Oh my God, I'm bouncing off the walls. I am salivating. Hang on, I better put my thing on. Hudeki, call it? Do not disturb. The people that made Halo, there's been mass layoffs because they turned Halo woke, and people have been absolutely tearing Halo apart and saying they don't like the direction that it went in because they went all woke, and the women and that got involved in making it didn't even like Halo and they were putting it down and blah blah blah. So there's been mass layoffs, and they're planning the latest one, and it's just I'm sitting there thinking, oh my God, this is perfect for a couple of reasons. First, the video games industry is dying because they went woke, and everyone's saying it. All the gaming channels, they're all saying that the the woke industry, the DEIs and all of that, they destroyed the gaming industry, which is perfect for me because even though I'm going to be a woman in video games, I'm the least woke person on the planet. I don't give a crap who you are or what title you go by. All I care about is whether you're good at what you do and whether you can make my gamers happy and make us money. Because the more money I make, the more I can put into the video games. Because my sons have been studying video games and the video games industry pretty much their whole lives because their father was a gaming artist. He's an art director now, but he used to be like a gaming artist. He's worked for quite a few different companies. He started with Codemaster. I'm the reason why he got the job with Codemaster. And so everything I've learned about the games industry was because I was the wife of, somebody who worked in the gaming industry. And I've always felt I could do better. I've learned, like when he worked with Team 17 and Sumo Digital and that, I watched and I observe. I study human behaviour and I watch people, and everybody around me influences me. And when I got locked up, I said to the boys to keep them busy, in order to keep them busy and distracted from what was happening to me, to lessen their stress. I set them the task of diving into the gaming industry and online gaming, and to observe the players and what they liked and the trends and that sort of thing, and to give me feedback, which is exactly what they've been doing and they have done for years. And even though we didn't talk for a year, now that we're talking again, we've just jumped straight back into it, and they're feeding me stuff and it's inspiring me. And Thomas plays Halo. Thomas has been playing Halo since he was 3 years old, and there's nothing he doesn't know about Halo. He's a Halo expert, and he was just playing Halo for me yesterday, and he plays it for me, and he teaches me the lore and about the characters in that, and it inspires me for my own video game stories. And my movie, The Warhawks, which is my alien invasion movie, was inspired by Halo. That in itself could be turned into a Halo game. We could take my idea for the Warhawks and turn it into the next Halo game, and it would be a gamer's wet dream. Because I'm all about gore and blood and guts and like good deep storylines, but I'm old school as well. So I would keep like the menu simple. Like my son Gabriel has been teaching me about the menus and how overcomplicated menus can become. And because I'm old school, and for me, it's all about not so much storyline. Nobody really wants to sit and listen to too much storyline unless it's important, because otherwise you just skip through the story, right? So what's the point of spending all that time developing a big, massive, deep storyline if it's not conducive to the gameplay? Because most people just want to get on and use the game to de-stress, and Halo is perfect for that. And we had always said we would we'd kick ass. Like when we make QE2 games, because we wanted to do like a competitive version of Halo based on what Thomas knows, based on my story writing ability. Thomas writes as well, based on, Gabriel's understanding of things like the menus and all the intricate side of it. Whereas Thomas likes to just run and shoot, Gabriel likes the intricate side of it. So between my story writing with their help to inspire me and their intricate knowledge of menus and setups and gameplay and all that sort of thing, we're going to take the video games industry by storm. And I'm telling you now, if we did a version of Halo, by the time I made my gaming chair, I would revolutionise the way people played Halo. I'd make history with Halo. If they gave me Halo, that's what I was saying in my post. I wonder how I could go about getting the rights to make the next Halo. Because it sounds like they're getting ready to shut it all down, and they've fired everyone. So it's like, Lord, please, get rid of Trump and Musk so that we can get over to Alaska and I can set up QE2 games and then give me Halo. I would even put my dating app aside to make the next Halo. I don't think it would be hard for me to get funding from people to make the next Halo. I feel like I've been handed a gem. I feel like I've been handed something magic with the demise of Halo and the firing of all these people. It's almost like everything my boys and I have been working towards pretty much since they were able to pick up controllers, everything that I set them to do when I got locked up, to give me feedback in terms of online gaming and trends and what's popular and how people are reacting to things and their personal opinions on their favourite games and games they don't like and why and the wherefores and all that sort of thing, was to lead us up to this point right now. Halo, of all the games in all the world to be have been pushed off a cliff because of the woke DEI ideology, of all the games in all the world, it had to be Halo. The game that my son was fed on from birth, pretty much. And I would put him in charge of it. I would 100% put my 17-year-old son in charge of Halo, because what that kid doesn't know about Halo isn't worth knowing. I feel like I've been handed something. I was just saying, I wonder how I could go about buying the rights to make the next one. Because I absolutely would. I would put my dating app aside to make the next Halo. And then I could push Sumo Digital and my ex out of the games industry, because the gaming industry is failing because human behaviour, I watch everything, I observe everything, and people think that I'm, just like this dopey mare that flaps about, flapping her little swan wings, kind of not paying attention to anything, swanning about the water, but I pay a lot more attention than people give me credit for. And there's two things I've noticed and what people are saying on the gaming forums, and that one, AI's destroyed it. Nobody wants to play AI video games. They're repulsed by it. There's an aversion to it. It only seems to be like what are they called? Gen alphas and betas that seem to be into the whole AI games thing, because it's simple and easy and not very complicated on the brain. But if you're from my son's generation, my son's generation, which is Gen X, Gen Z, and up to me like Gen X, we're connoisseurs. We have a more refined palate when it comes to what we do and don't like to play. And even though I'm not a gamer, I love to watch games because they fuel my imagination. And I love Cyberpunk 2077. And, you know, I've been working on the Soul Collector today, which is kind of like our version of, it's kind of a cross between V. She looks like a cross between V and Lara Croft, but she's the Soul Collector because obviously she's Ruby Corazon from the comic books. There's nothing woke about her, and the storyline, which we had to go over with a fine-tooth comb when we first started weaving it all together. We had to think about the moral and ethical side of what we were creating with the Soul Collector video game because of how dark it is. Because, like, if you know my stuff with Halloween and that, even though I'm a girl, like, there's no woke about me. There's no woke. There's no woke whatsoever. And I just kind of feel like, let us do it. Give us the next Halo. Get us to Alaska. Get QE2 games opened. And that's the thing. I was even researching office space to rent in Anchorage. Just today, just this morning, I was researching, looking up office space to rent to put my games company in, and there was one building that has 7 offices available, and I thought, well, there you go. I can put my IT industry in one, my IT company in one, my games company in the other. I can put my TV production company in another and my film company in another, because they just need a space right now to take everything that's in me and on paper to start weaving it into tangible results while we're getting the school built. But there's no reason why we can't start making any of it now. And I found the perfect building, and I even favoured it because I thought as soon as I get to Anchorage, I'm going to get onto that estate agent and say, I need 4 of your offices in that building, please. It's, I can't explain it. Since the 88 portal, or the 888 portal, coming out the other side in Alaska, it's like everything's starting to open up. Everything is starting to become available to us. And it's like, now this, with Halo, of all the games in all the world that was going to die and needed help to be rebirthed, to come through a resurrection through the 88 portal, Halo, the one game that my kid has been studying pretty much since the day he was born, since 3 years old, since he was still in nappies. Literally since he was still in nappies, standing with his little controller and his little singlet, vest, his little baby singlet and nappy. Our radio station, he was going to have a gaming hour where his radio show was all about him talking about games and video games history and that, and especially Halo. So of all the games in all the world that could do with revitalization and being saved, Halo is like the one game that my games company could actually do something with. We could take it and save it and turn it into something magnificent. Like, we would restore people's faith in Master Chief again. Of all the games in all the world that we could be handed to get our games company out there, QE2 Games, Halo. My son has got a bedroom full of Halo toys. He's got original die-cast Halo toys. Halo is his whole life, and I would 100% put him in charge of how it all went. we'd sit down and write the stories together, and then he could make sure that all the artists and programmers and that got it perfect to the vision, because we have spent hundreds, if not thousands, of hours discussing Halo and what we'd do with it and what's been gone wrong with it. And, you know, if we did our own version, because I said to him years ago, we're going to have to do our own version of Halo. Like I said, we're going to have to do our own version of Doom. And incidentally, Doom, when we started discussing doing our own version of Doom, because who doesn't love Doom, we accidentally created the Night of the Black Sun. The Night of the Black Sun was originally supposed to be a little like 2D mini game for our server, that would be that was inspired by Doom, and it just snowballed and became the Night of the Black Sun, Zombie Rockpocalypse, which will get turned into a video game itself. But I would put my dating app aside, and even the Soul Collector, which was going to be the first video game we made, to make Halo. And I'd put Thomas in charge of it. And he'd do a fantastic job, because I wouldn't allow us, well, him and I wouldn't allow us to put our name to anything that was going to be an embarrassment to his mecca. Like Master Chief, we were even saying, when we have our first Halloween party, when we get to America, he'll go as he's going to go as Master Chief. Master Chief is like his idol, his god. Halo is like his. Oh. I wonder how I can get it. I wonder how I can get hold of the right to make it. I wonder, because it sounds like they're just going to let it die and leave people angry and leave the gamers angry because they messed up by giving it to the woke brigade. But it's like, let us wake it back up. We'll take it from being woke to being awake. We'll bring it back to life. We can, my sons and I can bring it back to life. Give me Halo, Lord. Give me Halo. Give it to me. I'll turn it into exactly how it was when it first came out, when it absolutely spoke to people's hearts with the cute little comedy and the cute little voices and, you know, the the violence and the gloop and the bloodshed and, like, oh my God, we could, oh, give it to me. I'd make the last one look like Cortana was having like she was hacked or something. And it was all just in her imagination. It was all just a dream. Oh my God. If there is a God, no, well, I say that all the time just to, if you really exist, give me Halo. If there's a God out there who loves me so much that he is wanting me to hurry up and get there and start this games company so I can make Halo, do it now. Bring it to me now. Bring the people to me. So they can say, hey, why don't you, like, come on, then we'll take a... Because it's like, what have they got to lose? It's dying anyway. And we can bring it to life. My sons and I, we are the bloodline that brings things back to life. I literally rule resurrections. I rule regeneration. We're going to bring the video games industry and the movie industry and that back to life by taking it back to traditional old school values, you know, not overcomplicating anything that we make, just like how it used to be back in the day, traditional games, how it used to be back in the day when it was like, when you sat down and it was like, your mind was left a wonder at what you were watching play out in front of you, because it was so simple and streamlined and clean and not complicated. You know, that they overcomplicate everything now. We've been talking about that a lot the last couple of weeks since, you know, we've been playing on Discord and that again. It's so overcomplicated now. So I would strip it all back and go back to the simple days. My son was trying to figure stuff out on a menu, and it was taking him ages and he couldn't find what he was looking for, and in the end he just gave up. And it's like, who makes a game that's so complicated that just going through the menu makes them want to give up? Like when you get into the point where the menu itself, before you've even got to play a game, is so complicated, you just give up and lose all will to want to play the game. What a waste of money that is. That's embarrassing. To put my name to a game where people just gave up before they even got to play the game because the menu pissed them off so much. I'd be ashamed to put my name to that. My boys and I, when we make our video games and our movies and that, our name is going to mean quality. And people are going to play our video games and go, oh my God, this is just like when I first started playing blah, blah, blah. Or this reminds me of, you know, yay, finally, Halo the way it used to be, that sort of thing. Because video games to us is like a fine art. Just like classic cars with me, cars to me is art. I love to look at them because it's like looking at fine art. Well, traditional old school video games and that to us is the exact same thing. And I might not be able to work a controller yet, but trust me when I say I am planning on, when we get out of here and get our own place and I get my TV and console and all that sort of thing, I will learn how to play, because my dream is when I have made my games, I want to be able to sit down and play them with my sons and know what I'm doing, you know. But I love to watch them because it's like watching a movie. As my son said, you watching us play video games is like you're sitting down and watching a movie. But I get inspired by it. And watching my son play Cyberpunk, I said to him, I kind of feel like I've got the better end of the deal, because you're so busy playing the game and having to concentrate on what you're being told to do. I get to sit and look at all the stuff around it, like the posters and the things that people are doing in the background and the cars that are going past. And it opened my mind right up to wanting to do the Soul Collector and how I wanted to present it and what I want it to look like, which is why when I did all last week with my movies, my first 2 movies, today and all this week I'll be working on the Soul Collector. But I could absolutely take the storyline, and my boys know, well, I think Thomas knows the storyline to the Warhawks. I could take the storyline to the Warhawks, my Alien Invasion video game, and translate that into the next Halo, and people would be like, oh my God. Because I'm a writer, and I write stuff that fuels people's imaginations, but I'm also into the sort of video game playing that's not complicated, where it's not too involved. And with a game like Halo, just run and shoot. Let them run and shoot, and, you know, make the interactions with Cortana necessary, only when necessary, and the storylines in that sort of be quick, not big dramatic cutscenes. And I mean, cutscenes in that are okay when you're needing programming that to kick in for the next level and that sort of thing. But some of these games take the piss, man. Some of these games, their cutscenes go for like 4 or 5 minutes, and it's like, oh my God. And all anyone ever does is fast forward, fast forward, fast forward. Skip, 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 skip. So you've wasted all that money, you've wasted all that time putting unnecessary gobbledygook and yapping into video games, where if you just trimmed it all back and kept it simple, and just gave it a good storyline that was that made sense and kept the interactions necessary and simple and all of that. You could have saved a lot of money. You could save a lot of money just by cutting out the unnecessary trollop. Well, not trollop. Trollop is a her, you know, a garden tool, a hoe. Unnecessary codswallop is what I should have said. Give me Halo. Give me Halo. Let me pick the artists and the programmers. Oh my God, give me Halo. I wonder how I could go about getting the rights to make the next Halo, and then I'd put my son in charge. Come on, Lord. Come on, Lord. I've been a good girl. I'm only an arsehole. I haven't been mean or cruel or vindictive or nasty or nothing. Get me justice, get my money, get us to Alaska, get QE2 games started, and give me Halo. Give me Halo. Just give it to me. And let me and my boys take it over. And we'd restore people's faith in video games again. Because I won't put my name to anything that my sons wouldn't themselves play. Everything that we've created is all stuff that they themselves would play. And my Your War 2, my youngest said was a AUTS or a neurodivergence wet dream. It's going to change the way people see video games forever. And like I said, with my gaming chair, once that's made, playing Halo, you'll never play video games the same way again. Oh my God, if there is a God, well, I mean, I know there's a God, but give it to me. Give me Halo. Let me and my boys fix Halo and make it more betterer. Please. Give me Halo. Wow. And it's funny because it's Halo and I work for God. And then we've got our version of, you know, our homage to Luigi's Mansion and that. We've got so many games that we like. Oh my God. People are going to love us. I'm telling you now, please, Lord. Please. I've been such a good girl. I've been chased for 11 and a half years. I lost all my weight. I took etiquette classes. I'm patient now, even though I hate being patient, but I mastered patience. I've learned to bite my tongue and keep my mouth shut when I would have been a sarcastic gobshite. I'm only an arsehole when I speak the truth. Oh, please. Give it to me. We'll have people celebrating. Yay! And then I'll do my X out of a job and Sumo can shut down. And then I'll get the last laugh and have the victory. Because that would be karma. That would be karma in full force, is that he lost his job and Sumo Digital had to shut down. They already had to shut down their Sheffield office because they protected a sexual predator and ignored all the evidence that I gave them of child abuse. And they even paid for a lawyer to protect him over his victims. So, and even fired the one man, Luke Knuckles, who stood up to us and defended me and my boys. They fired him. And I always said, when this was over and my games company was started, I would offer him a job. I'd give him a job as my way of saying thank you. Because he had mine and my boys' back, and I vowed I would always have his. So, yeah, that would be karma. They'd go under and we'd rise. Halo of all games, please, Lord, please. Anyway, I've got to go. So this is so exciting. I can't help but feel like a door has opened to something that has the potential to be huge for us and Kiwi2 Games. And I've even got the perfect office in my sights waiting for us in Anchorage, Alaska. So come on, part the Red Sea, Lord. Part it. Get us over there, Moses style, and we'll fix Halo and turn it into something incredible. Right, so I'm going to go. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite. Mwah.